Okay, picture this. You're standing in your kitchen, it's 9:47 at night, your phone is sitting face up on the counter, and you've got a message open. You know the one. It's the one where you're finally supposed to ask for that raise, or maybe send over that big invoice, or simply follow up with a client who ghosted you 4 days ago, and your thumb is just hovering.
So here's what I'm actually going to prove to you today in this explainer. The gap between the people who get rich and the people who stay stuck. It was absolutely never about talent. It wasn't about luck, and it sure wasn't about what family they were born into. It really comes down to 4 specific currencies. And the crazy thing is, almost nobody has ever sat you down and explained what they are. Well, by the time we finish this explainer, you're going to be able to spot all 4 of these currencies in your own life, like tonight, in that exact conversation you've been putting off.
Listen, I really need you to hear this part clearly, okay? Every single day you go without understanding this system, you are handing money to someone else. And I don't mean metaphorically, I mean literally. Because somebody out there in your exact position, with your exact skill set, and your exact idea is closing the deal that you're too afraid to even bring up. Right, let's dive into this, because this used to make me so angry. When most people hear the word selling, they instantly picture some sleazy car dealership or a really annoying cold call. But that's not it at all. Selling is just what happens every single time you ask someone to trust you with something, their money, their time, their attention, or even just their belief in your idea. If you've ever asked for a raise, pitched a client, asked someone out on a date, or told your parents you were quitting your stable job to build a startup, you were already selling. You just didn't know the rules of the game you were playing. And honestly, the pattern behind it is almost embarrassing once you finally see it. See, most people just give up after 1 or 2 attempts, but the folks who actually land the deal, they aren't more talented. They're just the only ones left standing in the room.
All right, let's look at currency 1, belief, and funding the 2 accounts.
You know, almost every course out there gets this completely backwards. They'll tell you to memorize a script, or practice your tone, or rehearse your pitch in the mirror. But honestly, that's just rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship if your foundation isn't there. So we're gonna tear it down and rebuild from the ground up. Belief actually splits into 2 entirely separate accounts that you have to fund on your own. You need belief in what you're offering, and belief in yourself as the person offering it. Just picture 2 people selling the exact same used car. Same year, same price, the whole shebang. Now, seller A, she feels a little sick about it. She knows there's a weird rattle in the transmission, and she's quietly praying the buyer doesn't ask about it. Every time someone walks up, her stomach literally tightens and her voice jumps up half an octave. Now look at seller B. She is selling a car she would happily let her own mother drive. She looks the buyer dead in the eye, her shoulders are relaxed, her voice is low and totally even. It is the exact same car at the exact same price, but a completely different outcome. Why? Because the buyer can instantly feel the seller's internal certainty before a single word even leaves their mouth. So there's a really uncomfortable truth we've got to face here. If you've ever felt that awful, stomach-dropping feeling when quoting your hourly rate, or asking for a promotion, or posting a product online and immediately wanting to delete it, look, that feeling is not proof that you're bad at this. Not at all. It's actually just a signal that your second account, your self-belief, is running empty. So I want you to ask yourself this right now. If a total stranger walked up to you and asked, "Why should I trust you over anyone else doing what you do?" Could you answer them without your voice catching? And the fix for that catching voice? Well, it's definitely not some cheesy confidence hack, and I am certainly not going to sell you one. It's boring and it's earned. You build self-belief the exact same way you build a muscle at the gym, with reps you can actually verify. You make a promise to yourself, and then you keep that promise. Waking up when you said you would, finishing that project you swore you'd finish. Every single one of those is a deposit straight into your self-belief account. And once you finally fund both of those accounts, something kind of magical happens. You stop needing to convince anyone of anything. You're simply describing what is already true. Moving right along to currency 2, access, or getting discovered. Sure, belief gets you in the room, but it doesn't get you discovered in the first place, which brings us to access. And guys, this is exactly where people with a phenomenal product and absolute self-belief still go completely broke, just because they skip this currency altogether. The mechanics behind access are brisk, they're almost insultingly simple, and yet, almost nobody does all 3 parts. First off, people have to actually notice you exist. Second, they need real exposure to you. A quick 15-second clip doesn't build trust, right? A longer, deeper conversation or a full piece of content does. And third, and this is the step literally everyone skips, you have to give people a small, highly specific way to just say, "Hey, I'm interested." That could be a booked call, a form they fill out, or even just a real question asked. Now, if you skip that third step, you have essentially just been talking to a room full of people who quietly enjoyed listening to you and then turned around and walked straight back out.
Oof, this one might sting a little if you've been putting yourself out there and wondering why absolutely nothing is converting. Let me tell you, it's usually not your content. You built steps 1 and 2 beautifully, but you totally forgot to build a front door for step 3. You gave them 0 specific ways to raise their hand. But you know what the single biggest lever is inside this entire pipeline? It actually has almost nothing to do with your pitch itself. It's speed. Literally just speed. The person who reaches out within minutes of someone raising their hand will consistently crush the person who waits a respectable couple of days just to avoid seeming too eager. Rich people, they do not play it cool. They just show up first. For sure. Every single time. Okay, on to currency 3, proof, and why the order of presentation is absolutely crucial. All right, let's set the scene for this next phase. You believe in yourself, right? People can actually find you. And now you're finally sitting across from someone who is genuinely interested. The tension right now is super high because this is the exact moment where most people completely torch the deal in under 60 seconds. The order in which you present things here matters more than almost anything else. Weak presentations, they always open with a product. Decent ones, they might open with a method, like a here's how to do it framework. But the presentations that consistently win time and time again, they open with an insight. A deep piece of understanding about the other person's actual situation that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're selling yet. It is the fundamental difference between saying, hey, buy my program, and saying, you know, here's the actual reason people in your exact position keep hitting the same brick wall. One makes a person super defensive, the other makes them lean forward in their chair. Ultimately, people buy the version of their life that they are imagining on the other side of your product. And once you've earned that leaning forward moment, just stop talking. Seriously. This single question I'm about to give you ends more conversations perfectly than any cheesy closing line ever will. Just ask, have you heard enough to make a decision? Most people are absolutely terrified to ask this. But selling past yes is exactly like a waiter at your favorite restaurant walking you through a 5-minute list of specials after you already know exactly what you want to eat. By the time they finally stop talking, they've completely ruined your appetite for the whole evening.
Now, of course, objections are gonna come up, that's a given. But when they do, whatever you do, don't swing back at them like it's some aggressive tennis rally. Instead, just follow these quick steps. Catch the objection, actually write it down, ask them if there's anything else sitting underneath it, and then respond to everything once as a whole. Do not turn the room into a match that neither of you can actually win.
And finally, currency 4, detachment, or what happens after you hear no. Here's the harsh reality that nobody really warns you about. Even if you execute belief, access, and proof completely perfectly, you are still going to hear the word no. A lot. And what you do in that exact moment, that is detachment. This is the weighty, ultimate currency that genuinely separates the people who get rich from the ones who just quietly give up and decide they don't have what it takes. We all know that very specific, deeply human feeling right after a rejection. Your chest gets all tight, your brain frantically hunts for the exact sentence you must have messed up. You immediately want to make it a verdict on your worth as a person. But here is a reframe that honestly changes everything. A no almost never means you are not good enough. It just means I don't yet understand why this is worth it to me. See? It's not a final verdict. It is simply a gap in information. And it's one you are absolutely allowed to try closing. I really, really hope this gives you a sigh of genuine relief right now. No single mistake ends a deal. It just doesn't. Not stumbling over a client's name, not blanking mid-sentence, not pushing a little too hard. People change their minds constantly. The thing that ends a deal for good is a pattern. It is not a moment. So how does this actually translate into real wealth? Well, the people who compound the results aren't the ones who magically never hear the word no. They are the ones who replace their desperate need for confidence with a boring, consistent, completely repeatable rhythm. They show up, they follow up, they try again, and they keep doing it until no stops meaning anything to them except not yet. You see, confidence was never some magical feeling you just wait around for. It's simply a byproduct of the repetition that you already control. Okay, let's quickly put the whole system back together. Currency 1, belief in the offer and in yourself. Currency 2, access, being seen and actually giving people a real door to raise their hand. Currency 3, proof, leading with insight and knowing exactly when to stop talking. And currency 4, detachment, treating no as just missing information and trusting your rhythm way more than your talent. Guys, every wealthy person you have ever admired has been trading in this exact system. But wait, here is the crazy part I haven't mentioned yet. There is a very specific reason why some people can absolutely master these 4 currencies. They close the deal, they get the big raise, they build the incredible business, and they still end up totally broke 5 years later. They just can't hold on to the wealth. And that actually comes down to a completely different psychological pattern, which, as you might have guessed, is exactly what we are going to be breaking down in our next explainer. So what do you think is holding them back?